All right, we're live. So welcome back to Dapp University. So today we're gonna look at everything happening in the crypto space, what's going on with this exciting new technology that looks like it's just on the warpath to taking over the world here. Today we're gonna look at a pretty exciting piece of news that came out this week. Well, at least we're gonna see what we're talking about here. This is Apple, potentially getting into the crypto game. We're gonna look at some speculation around this, some breadcrumbs actually on Apple's own website about what could be around the corner for this and why this would be so huge for this technology, for the adoption of the cryptocurrencies themselves. So before we get into that, if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn how to become a blockchain master step-by-step, start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. All right, so we got people jumping in the chat here. We've got Culture Hives, Adam, Guitar Solo Lover, Operation 1620, Mike Taylor, Harsh Rodrigo. Right, welcome. All right, so let's take a look at this news here. So we're going to look at a bunch of stuff today. Of course, I've got this news about Apple that we want to inspect and kind of see, hey, what's the truth here? What's likely to happen? And then we're also going to look at several other things that have happened since our live stream yesterday, look at the crypto markets, all that type of stuff. But the first thing I'm going to look at is Apple. So this actually came out earlier this week, and we were kind of focused on other things in our live streams. I want to bring it back up and talk about it today. So Apple is looking to strike deals with alternative payment providers, all right? And they're actually looking to hire people to help them lead this charge, okay? So we've seen this type of thing actually come out for other companies in the past. We now see PayPal supporting cryptocurrencies. We see, basically, the whole point I'm trying to make here is we've seen like Venmo jump on the train with supporting cryptocurrencies, also Cash App, PayPal. And prior to these things happening, we've seen, basically breadcrumbs about them supporting these technologies. Basically, like job postings on their website saying, "Hey, we're leading this charge," and then you see the actual types of products launch later. We saw PayPal launch support for cryptocurrencies last year. We have some pretty big news about PayPal actually letting people withdraw from cryptocurrencies from the platform, which is huge as well. And now we're seeing actually a job listing on Apple's own website for a business development manager for alternative payments. Okay, so you can see that here. So business development manager for alternative payments. Apple is at Apple, new ideas have a way of becoming extraordinary products, services, and customer experiences people once couldn't have imagined, and now can't imagine living without. So basically, that's the intro to the job post here. Let's see here. But what are they looking for? They're looking for 10 plus years of professional experience with different things. And then here you go, 5+ years experience working with alternative payment providers such as digital wallets, BNPL, fast payments, cryptocurrency, etc. Okay, so we actually do see some confirmation of cryptocurrency related experience here is something that they're looking at and actually exploring. Okay, so we don't know what the full extent of this is, but it looks like something that they're talking about. Let me talk about why it's so huge. Okay, so again, we do talk about how we see breadcrumbs on these types of things on these big company websites before the actual things roll out. Again, so we saw this with PayPal. We saw this with other payment providers as well. They're realizing they have to pay attention to this technology, that is something that they can't just, ignore if they want to stay relevant long term. But let me tell you why it would be such a big deal for Apple. Of course, they're massive network of users being able to use cryptocurrency at the click of a button, but also what I think is one of the biggest, use cases for DeFi in particular on blockchain technology, which I think is prime for widespread adoption as soon as we get a lot of the sort of kinks worked on that. And that's savings and lending. And we've talked about that a lot on this channel, but why I think it's such a big deal is if you can make savings and lending, you give people competitive savings rates on their cash, just stable coins, for example, but you can make that experience mobile, where all they have to do is basically have a mobile phone like this, where they already have Apple Pay integrated. They have some digital wallet where they don't even have to really see what they're doing on blockchain behind the scenes. They don't have to transfer funds out of the app. We see this a lot with other applications like Robinhood, people using that on their phone. But if you can have all that natively on an Apple device, and you could have digital currencies integrated that way, it just reduces the friction for all this type of thing. It makes cryptocurrency way more accessible to people who don't necessarily want to KYC in an exchange. They don't want to go through all these hoops and going through all these hurdles of basically installing MetaMask on their computer, all that type of stuff. And then they just get it instantly, and it's streamlined. It's got support out of the box on this device that they're kind of buying into. So that's why it's really big. I can unlock these use cases of savings and lending, but abstract away all the clunky user experience of going to these like kind of sketchy looking blockchain websites. At least that's how most people who are in the space, that's how they perceive them. And it's also that, that social proof that I talked about, a lot in this channel. If it basically someone in a position of authority like Apple just hands you a phone and says, okay, here, it supports cryptocurrency out of the box, and you've never used crypto before, then you're like, oh, maybe I take that seriously. So this is huge on many, many levels. Now, that being said, we do want to be very clear about this. We don't see like an official news story about Apple saying like, yeah, we've bought Bitcoin or something like that. That's not what's happening here. We've not seen Apple says, of course, we have cryptocurrency support in Apple wallets. Okay, that's not what we're saying here. We're just connecting the dots on what's possible, and it does look like they are taking this seriously. And so I'm excited to see what comes of this long term. Definitely keep this on your radar. But this is something I caught my attention earlier this week that I want to definitely keep you all updated about on this channel. So let's get a question in the chat here. Someone says they do not understand Doge. It's awesome. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on with the crypto markets here. Because, it looks like we're seeing some signs of life. People are still kind of wondering what's going to happen with crypto, especially over this weekend. Some people are worried about the long weekend here in the United States. We've got, I guess it's Memorial Day. I think that's the one that happens in May. We have like two, Memorial Day and Labor Day. Sometimes I get confused, but I'm pretty sure it's Memorial Day coming up. The Memorial Day weekend, people are worried about what could happen to crypto prices over that weekend. But basically, we've seen this massive correction over the past 10 days or so, and we've seen recovery here. And people are still kind of wondering, are we in this like sort of dead cat bounce here? Are we in a fake out? Time will tell. Of course, it took us a long time to realize we were in a bear market for sure, and the 2017 dump. But this time around, we'll have to be patient as well. Me personally, I'm still optimistically bullish about this. Of course, I'm long-term bullish, but I mean, in the short to mid-term, I'm still optimistically, cautiously bullish about this. But we do need time to know for sure. Same with Ethereum price. Ethereum, Bitcoin's above $40,000, which is looking strong. I want to see Bitcoin basically hold above 40,000 for a while before I feel better about this. But right now I'm cautiously bullish, like I said. And the ETH, I would like to see it also get back above like $3,000. Hold that for a while. Again, this is not based on any critical like TA numbers. These are really just like basic psychological sort of psychological data points I think are important to other people, right? It's not so much about like critical resistance on the chart and moving averages and a lot of TA that's frankly outside my pay grade, but mostly just big picture stuff. So another thing I saw yesterday that was pretty crazy. Let's actually just see here. So this was from Carl Icahn talking about crypto as well. And this is actually on Fortune's magazine, Fortune's website. So Carl Icahn, if you don't know who he is, another famous billionaire, talking about being really excited about the future prospects of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. And he's definitely talking about the underlying technology itself. Let's actually find the interview. Gosh, I'm getting like bombarded by opt-ins and stuff here. I had the story pulled up earlier, but I lost the actual interview. Let me see if I can find it. So he's saying he may get into crypto in a big way. Let's see if I can find the actual video here. All right, I see it on. So basically, he's talking about the actual technology itself. Let's see if I can find this. It's got an ad playing right now, so you can get away from this ad. Gosh, the ad is super long. It's like 20 seconds long. So we can just look at the article here. We won't be able to actually watch the ad on the site. So basically, activist investor Carl Icahn, interested in getting into cryptocurrency in a big way, may eventually put more than $1 billion into an alternative currency. Okay. So Icahn hasn't bought any cryptocurrency yet. The billionaire investor said in Bloomberg TV interview that he studies Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the crypto sector as a whole to determine where the opportunities are. Alternative currencies gaining popularity. What he did really say, though, here was I wanted to point out here. Let's see. Okay, here, let's just watch it now that the ad's over.
I mean, there's a lot of money around, and frankly,
Okay, so I think this is going to work out very well. My stream audio is not coming through quite like I had hoped. I gotta actually route that through my internal digital audio mixer here. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's look at this one. So I wanted to play the clip where he talks about Ethereum as a store of value, because he's saying a lot of things we've been talking about in this channel. So I wanted to actually show this in a way. I wanted to play the clip here so you can actually hear his own words rather than try to look at articles that extract away like things out of context so you can see the entire thing. But we'll just do this for now. Just know that it's not fully in context. But basically, he's talking about showing pretty strong prospects for Ethereum here. So Ethereum can do two things. You can use it as a payment system. You can also use it as a store of value. So this is a lot of stuff we've been talking about. But basically, like, we're still trying to experiment with whether cryptocurrencies are a good long-term store of value. We talked about the thesis on this channel about Ethereum being a good store of value, potentially a better one than Bitcoin, because for lots of reasons. One of them being everything you can do with it. And we're seeing lots of people wake up and see that. This is a guy who's watching the crypto space. He's saying you can use it as a payment system, but you can also use it as a store of value. And of course, we got smart contracts, we got DeFi. We did see the thing from Kevin O'Leary the other day talking about, DeFi. That's where the puck is headed in crypto. And so I think, a lot of the smart money sees this type of thing. I think we are seeing a lot of people who are getting in the space wanting to, get into crypto in a big way, billions of dollars. Some of them are starting to skip past Bitcoin and just see like what's next. I think people are getting the idea of risk reward, seeing what's happened with Bitcoin, and also the utility value something like Ether can provide, compared to that. Because utility value can really, like we talk about, bolster the price, because everything you can do with the cryptocurrencies themselves, the more reason that you have to demand the cryptocurrency and to hold it, that it can definitely have an impact on the demand side of things, which at the end of the day, the price is determined by the supply and demand. got a lot of chats that are being held for moderation. So anyways, so we did see this yesterday. I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but I wanted to actually bring it up and highlight it. So basically, we talked about other people getting in the cryptocurrency space as payment solutions. And you talk about, PayPal was getting into this previously. And we saw PayPal get into cryptocurrencies in a big way, initially getting into supporting cryptocurrencies for their merchants and letting people pay with them, their checkout systems, all the way to just letting people buy and hold cryptocurrencies on their platform. And now we're actually seeing continued support for this. And PayPal let users send Bitcoin off of PayPal. Okay, so we're seeing this mature more and more and more to support broader cryptocurrency demand. So now we're seeing basically PayPal being sort of an on-ramp into the crypto ecosystem. So now people who hold PayPal can get in it and have experienced cryptocurrency, not just in this walled garden of PayPal and their network of merchants, vendors, and users, but also letting people get off of PayPal and get into the crypto space. So I think it's a good point here. It signifies a deepening of PayPal's crypto ambitions. I think it's going to be huge for more people getting in the space for sure, because PayPal is such a massive network, like we talked about. So when you think about combining this, like PayPal, Apple, mobile experience, just the more streams that flow into this major river that goes into the broader crypto ecosystem is going to be absolutely huge. So one thing I did also see yesterday, I want to pull up on my Twitter here. We did see this. I try to bring this up and talk about the major opportunities that are happening in blockchain, and why. I do personally hold crypto for the long term. I don't like to actively trade. We talk about a lot on this channel why I think it's not a great idea, because trading is a full-time job that you can lose your money at, and the better prospect for a lot of people who are trying to find life-changing money is to actually get involved in the blockchain industry, because it's a very highly paid field because of the supply and demand economics. I mean, there's a ton of people who want to hire blockchain talent, and hardly anybody on the grand scheme of things who understands it. And so we saw more of this yesterday. Basically, I saw this tweet thread come up, that was pretty sad. But this is a guy talking about how he lost a lot of money in trading, basically saying that, he'd been trading Bitcoin profitably for years, but essentially just made some bad calls, and basically just lost it completely because he never uses leverage. He was just got into making some bad judgments, was making terrible decisions, and then he just lost a lot. And he says his future prospects have really been impacted. And I retweeted this and was like, hey man, sorry this happened, but I appreciate your openness, honesty. But this sort of drives home the point that I was making. And a lot of people won't talk about this, okay? Because you'll see traders out there online who are basically trying to get attention, and they'll talk about everything they did right, but they'll never tell you what they got wrong. And basically, a lot of trading, active trading, is basically just winning more than you losing. Winning more than you lose, that's what successful trading really is. So if you can win 51% of the time, you're technically winning. But here's the thing. A lot of people are going to lose money at that. You know what I mean? Because most people are just going to make net bad calls rather than net good calls. And trading is like a full-time job that you can lose money at, which is why I don't really do it, because it's not just about the profit that you make. It's also about your time and how could you spend your time in a better way. Well, in my opinion, I think the best way to spend your time in this industry, the bigger upside potential for most people, is learning the skills, learn the information to break into the blockchain industry. That's one of the primary goals of this channel, is to help you all do that. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. I feel bad. But some of these lessons, it's better. I'm really thankful this person was talking about that, because it helps other people see it. They don't have to go through themselves if you can just watch that it actually happened to somebody else. Someone says, stop borrowing money to gamble on crypto. Yeah, I agree. Don't use leverage. Someone says my winning is based on pure dumb luck. Yeah. Well, the other thing is, it can be kind of easy to trade a bull market, in the sense of when everything's kind of going up, anybody can look like a genius. You know what I mean? But it's just when the market does what you don't expect, which happens a lot, then you can have a real big winning streak followed by a massive loss, and that massive loss can wipe out all your gains. That's why I say it's like a full-time job that you can lose money at. Someone says they used to be a web developer, but considering entering into blockchain. Yeah, it's an awesome field. Someone says that seems that ETH is rebounding faster than Bitcoin. Could this be an opportunity for a flip? It's possible. And we talk about the possibility of ETH flipping Bitcoin long term. Basically, ETH becoming larger in market cap than Bitcoin, being the number one cryptocurrency by market cap on any currency website like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, or anything like that. Do I think this is possible? I do think it's possible, for what we talked about earlier. ETH being potentially a better store of value than Bitcoin because of what you can do with it. The deflationary economics potentially around the corner with the network upgrades that are going to happen. I do think this is very possible. That being said, I don't know that it's going to happen long term. There's, it's a lot. There's a lot of bias in the space for Bitcoin being number one, especially with newer investors and all that type of stuff. So we'll see. This whole space is about probability and likelihood. I mean, nobody knows what's going to happen for sure. So it says markets are designed to take your money. Another harsh reality. But this is ETH 2.0 and gas going down will attract more. So ETH gas going down will definitely help a lot with Ethereum adoption. We do have layer 2 scaling solutions on Ethereum coming out in full force. This year we have Arbitrum launching tomorrow. Hopefully that's at least the advertised date of launch. We'll see if we get any disappointments on that regard, but definitely watch out for that. We've got a lot of other scaling solutions coming out. We also saw a proposal for Uniswap to actually launch on top of Arbitrum. Initially they're talking about doing a coordinated launch with Optimism to go to mainnet, but it looks like Arbitrum is planning on getting there first, and we see the Uniswap community actually voting on whether they want to launch on top of Arbitrum. So one thing you definitely don't want to happen with layer 2s is basically getting liquidity fragmented across too many places. At least that's what I don't think, because part of the usefulness of blockchain applications in the first place for DeFi is the ability to have lots of liquidity. And so that helps the network effect of the actual technology itself. And, if you go across too many layer 2s, then you decrease the amount of liquidity in the application because they won't really interoperate. So what are my thoughts on Shiba Inu coin? I don't hold any Shiba Inu coin. Let's see here. Will there be another dip like the one before? It's very possible. Let's see. So somebody says, I'm new to the channel. What are my top 3 long-term investments? Well, I can tell you what I personally hold, but I should also, disclose a lot about why I hold what I hold. So my largest position is definitely ETH. After that, it's Bitcoin. And then after that, it's just a couple different DeFi tokens like Aave and Synthetics. So why is that the case? Well, I do hold things that I only believe in for the long term that have real working products with adoption here right now. I work primarily with the Ethereum protocol. That's where my expertise lies, and I see the future of it, where it's going, and it's a huge bet compared to everything else out there that doesn't have working products or doesn't have users, all that type of stuff. So basically, where I invest my time to acquire technical expertise and where I decide to invest in cryptos, those things come from the same place. One doesn't really influence the other. So some people say, like, why you only talk about Ethereum? Like, why you're just trying to like shill Ethereum because you bought it? Like, no, I worked with Ethereum long before I, acquired a lot of it. So I accumulated a lot of my cryptos in 2018, 2019, most of it in 2020. So, I'm, yes. So people ask me like, hey, what are your top 3 picks? Because a lot of people are trying to ask what to buy now. Of course, it's not financial advice, but a lot of it has to do with when I bought in. I haven't sold any cryptocurrency in the past year. I'm an infrequent buyer. I'm a long-term holder, and I only hold in things that, I believe in long-term that have a lot of momentum. I don't invest in promise coins. I'll put it that way. So let's see here. Somebody's thoughts on Binance Smart Chain. You build an Ethereum. I was wondering if BSC can go mainstream according to you. I mean, I never say never. Crazy things happen in crypto, but Binance Smart Chain, of course, is a fork of Ethereum with some settings changed to help to achieve scalability, but it makes trade-offs that Ethereum's not willing to not willing to do, like basically compromise decentralization. And I'm personally not super optimistic on the long-term success of Binance Smart Chain, especially as Ethereum moves towards roll-up technology and Ethereum 2.0. We'll see. I'm personally not super optimistic about it. That being said, Binance has a lot of marketing. Of course, they are able to control, sort of the on-ramps and off-ramps to Binance Smart Chain. They can increase the withdrawal fees to the Ethereum network to incentivize people to use Binance Smart Chain instead. There's lots of stuff they can do to try to influence users to use their technology. So I'm not saying it's like not going to work. I'm just way more optimistic on the long-term future of Ethereum. Let's see here. Suppose it's ETH 2.0 before December ? So it depends on what you mean by that. If you're talking about the merge of actual proof of stake turning on top of Ethereum, I would say that's an optimistic goal. I do think it's within the realm of possibility, but it's an optimistic goal. I think the more conservative bet is seeing the merge come in earlier in 2022. That being said, we could surprise us. We could get there a little bit sooner. The last thing to know here is even if you had the merge happen, it's not all of Ethereum 2.0 totally here. But the other question behind that is some people say when Ethereum 2.0 because they want to know when ETH gas fees are going to get fixed. But you don't have to rely on ETH 2.0 gas to fix the gas fees on top of Ethereum. That's largely what layer 2 scaling solutions are going to help out with. So we do have layer 2 scaling solutions rolling out in full force. We've got them on, we've got Arbitrum launching tomorrow, hopefully. We've got Optimism, hopefully coming soon as well. Of course, Matic Polygon's been taking off really well as well. And they're working on sort of a suite of layer 2 scaling solutions. So do I personally hold forever or do you exit during tops of 4-year cycles? So I put in a video talking about when I'm planning on selling my crypto. You should definitely go check that out for the full explanation. I'll put it this way. If we were at a top right now, I would hold long-term and not do anything. That's just my personal strategy. That's not necessarily investment advice for you. All right, everybody. So that's all I got for today. As always, smash that like button down below. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. That really helps these videos out so the more people learn about blockchain. If you're as fascinated with this technology as I am, you want to get your hands dirty, how can you get started today? You go to my YouTube homepage. You find my free courses there. They're like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. And if you like those and you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a massive shortcut entirely, I can show you become a blockchain master step-by-step from start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. Okay, you don't have to be experts to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. Until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.